Blink, blunk, blink, blink, blonk, blinking. Dude, I'm fucking blinking right now, dude. Ooh. What's going on, motherfuckers? It's me, your boy, Stutz Butts. It's not my name. Don't say it like that. I just said the first thing that rhymed. I don't know why I said that. Now people are gonna come up to me, start calling me Stutz Butts. Fuck. Anyways, facial gestures. We're gonna do a step-by-step guide on how to get your blend shapes to work with your gesture systems that you have now built. It's gonna be essentially the same setup as how you did the gesture systems, but we're just gonna be doing it specifically for the face. So you can actually build this off of your gesture system, or you can make this like its own separate thing. Either way, let's get into it. All right, so we back at it again. We're gonna try and make this quick because this will seem a little complicated, but it's gonna save you a lot of code and a lot of hassle trying to this equals this, if conditionals and all that stuff. So we don't need to keep doing all of that. It's really simple once you get the hang of it. I'm just going to explain because I have made this system like 5 times now. So you would get the controller that you use, right? Get all of the inputs for all of the gestures that you want for your face, whether it's touch, whether it's pressing a button, whatever the case may be. Get those inputs and then put them into a compose bits by either a byte or by short, however many bits that you actually need. For me, I have my controller set up like this. So I'm grabbing the A touch, the B touch. I'm also getting the trigger, whether or not it is above or equal to 1. I'm also getting the touchpad touch as well. And I'm using all of those as inputs. Down here, this is mainly for index users, right? Index only. But in order to get the finger rotation data, this is pretty much the setup that you would have for just getting all of your finger inputs and all of those registered as well. So you get the distal on the index, middle, ring, and pinky. We use compose finger, finger pose, 2-axis angle, and we're going to set it if it is less than 140. Essentially, you would do all of that same shit on the opposite hand as well. So all of the exact same stuff you would just do on the opposite hand. Next, we go from here over to the actual bit data. So we're coming here to the compose bit, taking all of those input datas, we throw it into an index of first match. So as you can see here, as you cannot see here, as you can now see here, there is all this information that's piping through here, and I'm just checking to see if it matches up, right? Index of first match. If I do this gesture, this number is going to match on the index of first match somewhere here, right? Bam, right there. And we can see it's an index of 1. That's what I want, right? At this point, it seems like the exact same thing that we did with like the actual hand poser gesture, because it is. It's literally the exact same thing. The only difference is because we're not touching the hand pose system, we're creating an entirely new one, which is why we're going to get down here. I know this seems a little quick and it seems like I'm kind of just going through this, but I've had to remake this video like 5 times because of technical issues, and that's just like a skill issue on my part. But you know, I'd rather just come here and explain it and show it to you, and if you don't understand it, you can just copy it anyway. So first off, we come here to this XNOR node. What is XNOR? This one basically says it cannot be either or, but it can be both, which is actually what we want. So it cannot be this or this, but it can be both of them. And that is why we are using XNOR. So we get the XNOR from the index of first matches up here and down here. So we plug those in right over here, as you can see. We then add together both of the shorts. So we're adding the short data here, and we're adding the short data down here as well, and we're plugging that in. So that will have its own input data right here. So we're adding both of the short outputs, and because we're doing that, we get its own system here with this add. Now, if I do this and this, it gives me double that value that it would have been from the other two. So it's really simple. Now we can create its own system here. At this point, if I do both of these, it's going to output 774, which is what I want. The next thing that I'm doing is I am actually taking the XNOR down here and I am plugging it into a conditional here. Long story short, the XNOR is going to go into the conditional, and then the index of first match, the found match, is going to go in the false. We leave the true empty, nothing on true, right? Because when this is true, when we do both hands, we want that value to be false. This will get no inputs because this is only for one hand. We do the exact same thing for the opposite hand, and we plug in the XNOR down here. We plug in that hand's found match data into the false, and we leave the true blank. We will then feed that into its own demultiplexer. If I do this gesture on either or hand, we're going to see changes here. So if I do it on the left hand, this will register as true up here. If I do it on the right hand only, it will register down here. And if I do it on both, it turns off those and it goes straight to this new system that we've developed, in which I only want this to be 774 right here. So it gets that data and it outputs it as the first index demultiplex. So bam, you can now have your own freaking separate combinational gestures for your facial animations. Now, if I wanted to do another one, I would just pull this out and I would do another combinational gesture. I want this to have its own animation, right? That is going to be 898. I plug in 898 and it will output as the second index. Boom, too easy. We're going to get a 0, 1 node of type float. This quite literally is just, if it is off, it's 0. If it's on, it's 1, but it converts it into a float value. We're going to use a smooth value lerp. So we smooth lerp it of type float. Now, all of these I want at like a speed of like 9. 9 seems like a pretty good number. It's like the smoothest that we're gonna probably get. Oh, I'll plug all of these in with a value of 9. I'll put this, I don't know, somewhere here. There we go. Something nice like this, you know. Now at this point, you just literally drive whatever blend shapes you want by whatever hands that you want them. I'm picking one from my left hand. I am picking another one from my right hand. And I'm picking another one for when I do both. First one goes left. Second one goes right here. And this one I want for both. And now, moment of truth. Left, right, and both. Ta-da! It could actually probably go a little bit faster, but yeah, see, the gestures, they work. I'll do 15. Left, right, both, left, right, both. See? No complications. This system, it just works. It seems a lot more complicated, but it's much less in the long run. So have fun, you know, building your left, right, and double combinational gestures. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.